Let's be totally honest. One of the biggest problems in America right now is black privilege. For example, last month in Georgia, a black man shot and killed 4 elderly white people. The town it happened in hadn't seen a single homicide since 2018. And yet, despite all of this, no one really seems to care. The story barely got any national news coverage. But when the races were reversed and a similar incident happened in Florida, there was a national outcry. Or what about when 6 black men attacked and robbed over 100 Asian women in San Francisco? Can you even imagine what would happen if 6 white men did that? Now, amazingly, in San Francisco, 85% of the physical assault crimes involve an Asian victim and a black perpetrator. And that's incredible because black people make up less than 6% of the population there. And yet, for some reason, you'll never hear a Stop Asian Hate activist mention that. They'll blame white supremacy instead. There are literally hundreds of stories like this that you never hear about. Take, for example, James Lee Ramsey. Last year, he was convicted for assaulting an elderly Asian man, and despite the crime, he served less than a year in jail. So he was released from jail, and last month, he assaulted another elderly Asian person, this time an 88-year-old woman. But it's not just the elderly. An Asian high schooler was recently hospitalized after a black classmate stabbed him for fun. A few weeks ago, 6 black kids beat up a 15-year-old white kid for his shoes. Bystanders watched and recorded the whole thing. No one stepped in. This is terrible. Innocent people across America are being attacked, robbed, and even killed, and yet no one seems to really care because the people disproportionately causing it all have a certain skin color. And because everyone is afraid of being called racist, these incidents will just keep happening and nothing will change. The only way things will get better is if we start being honest about what's really going on.
Mr. Simpson, would you please stand and face the jury? Mrs. Robertson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find the special circumstance that the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, has in this case been convicted of at least 1 crime of murder of the first degree and 1 or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Signed this 2nd day of October 1995, Juror 230. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.
All right, counsel.
Orenthal James Simpson not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Nicole Brown Simpson, a human being, as charged in count 1 of the information. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the people of the State of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of the crime of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A, a felony upon Ronald Lyle Goldman, a human being, as charged in count 2 of the information.
Of course, entirely.
We,
up to you.
along with the rest of the country, saw I think it's great. He deserves to go free. They had no evidence on him.
So much evidence to deliberate for as short as they did and come back with a not guilty verdict. I think it shows a The jury was pretty irresponsible. Money can buy you justice, exactly.
I think the jury did their the gate. I think it was racist based, and it was racist from the black point of view.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Yo, what's going on, Erica? Hi, John Henry. Yeah, I know, Erica. I know that's what he said, But yeah, that I just showed that for a reason. And what's going on, I ain't gonna go too deep. I know I'm coming on here really to entertain myself because I know a lot of y'all is out there watching the you know what I'm saying, the good old Super Bowl and all of that stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, we definitely need a lot of unbrainwashing, you know what I'm saying, from everybody's propaganda, you know what I'm saying? Because you need to be making your own instead of that's how you really brainwash yourself, you know what I'm saying, if that's what you want to do. But like I said, man, I ain't gonna get into nothing like deep. I'm just gonna come on here to be on here for a little while just because, you know what I'm saying. So and I'll show you the reason why I showed that, because I don't know if y'all seen that. Well, they still mad at that dude, OJ and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of like football, and so of course they're still mad at him. But so now, like recently, he just made a joke that, you know what I'm saying, they like, oh Lord, they still
Men
mad.
shouldn't open up to women because they'll use it against them. He said, whenever something go down, they're gonna throw it back in your face. Do y'all agree? OJ first.
OJ first.
When you say open up to women, I don't know what he's talking about. Is he talking about confessing? No, man, don't confess. No, I think you're right. Don't say that.
Right, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the glove didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? That white girl, she was into all kind of crazy stuff. I'm just saying, how they do. But they still mad at him to this day about that, and so he's just making a quote unquote joke here,
Do y'all agree? OJ first.
OJ first.
When you say open up to women, I don't know what he's talking about. Is he talking about confessing? No, man, don't confess. No, I think you're right. Don't say nothing. It was your lying eyes.
Yeah.
So leave me out of the confession.
Yeah. Oh, no confession.
Y'all got to leave me out of this.
All these episodes. Yeah, I won't say that.
And so and I know a lot of them are mad, Now the reason why I like OJ is also because the brother, they just found out, well, OJ, you know what I'm saying, he said he's not black, he's OJ. So OJ, he found out that he recently got cancer, and I'm mentioning that, because keep that in mind at the end, you know what I'm saying, when I talk about something positive. But recently he's in the they saying he may have cancer and all that stuff. But look at the the jokes that they making about
that
him.
O.J. Simpson was diagnosed with not enough cancer. I just heard that O.J. Simpson was diagnosed with not enough cancer.
So I know a lot of y'all be like, oh yeah, you're going too far when I say the stuff about him and stuff like that, but you see, they still got this mentality. That was like, what, 30, 40 years ago? You know what I'm saying? They still mad about OJ.
I just heard that O.J. Simpson was diagnosed with not enough cancer.
Check it out, Erica. This is O.J. Simpson here. I'm gonna skip through this dude because it's unimportant, dude. Like I said, this ain't gonna. I'm not gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about something else after this. But
She met him in 1995, a year after Nicole.
An emotional abuse and even threatened to kill.
The truth.
Christy Brody says she feared for her life. Brody claims OJ
See, still
subjected her
messing
to
with them damn white
constant
girls,
physical
Erica.
and emotional abuse and even threatened to kill her, something he denies. Brody
that's
says
funny,
OJ
right?
constantly compared her to
Whatever,
Nicole and
Clara.
convinced her to get breast implants to look more like his deceased ex-wife. Police were even called 4 times to intervene in their relationship. Brody says she's convinced OJ committed the
They
murders
loved
based on
OJ. That's why he was telling them, "Oh yeah, I ain't black, I'm OJ." They put him where they loved him until the white girls was his damn downfall. You know what I'm saying? What can I do? But I wonder it'd be funny if I say, "Oh yeah, and this old white bitch got cancer or not enough cancer." That'd be funny.
Brody
I'm
says
cool with
she's
that if it
convinced
is.
OJ committed the murders based on comments he made over the years, claiming he told her details only the killer would know. Still, she supported him throughout his trial for armed robbery and kidnapping, but she's not standing by OJ anymore.
It is pretty freaky how he tried.
Yeah, this the gay dude here.
Killed his wife?
Yes, I do now. Absolutely.
That he killed his wife?
Yes, I do now. Absolutely.
And why now do you?
Things he's mentioned about Nicole, her having had it coming because of her lifestyle and who she hung out with.
And there's a correctional officer who actually
was OJ's best friend. When OJ was washing his hands and looked in the mirror, I just said, Juice, you just solved the Brentwood murders. You're looking at the murder right in the mirror. And he just kind of gave me a glare. He gave me kind of a dirty look. And then he kind of smiled afterwards. He kind of shrugged it off a little bit.
It's so interesting to me that this man
That was
described
funny.
OJ.
Yeah, this dude keep talking.
The bad parts when everything. Clip of Kato
did it by himself. Yeah, I feel that because after meeting with detectives, this is the most investigated case in the history of murder cases.
The most investigated case in the history of murder cases. What the hell?
was his own memorabilia.
And by the way, Bukhari, shouldn't you be showing like Johnny Cochran some love? You know what I'm saying? For being
Charged
Johnny
with
Cochran.
a number of felony counts, including kidnapping
Speaking
and
of
armed
football and
robbery.
stuff,
Because of this robbery.
All right, this dude keep popping up. All right, but I will tell you this, you know, just to show you, just to make sure that you know that. Let me see. Damn, I ain't got the right one. Let me see. The gloves did not actually fit. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? The glove did not fit. That's all I can tell you.
That's People 77.
Yeah. That's why they hate him so much. He wasn't like the rest of us Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And then they let him in and see what being an N-word lover gets you. You know what I'm saying? Gets you O.J. Simpson. So they can never have another N-word lover in. But all I can tell you is, look, that glove is not fitting.
You having a problem placing the glove on his hand?
Yeah, it does not fit.
Sustained.
Sustained, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted you to see, you know, and like my brother here said,
O.J. Simpson in a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still O.J. Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
there you go. But anyway, yeah, R.I.P. Johnny Cochran, you know what I'm saying? You know,
It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
and it did not fit, you know. But speaking of like football players and their white bitches, you know what I'm saying? Now these two young brothers here, man, these two brothers got accused. You know what I'm saying?
The young black men in your family, the young black men who are maybe in high school, going on
over
to
there at
college.
Ohio
Maybe
State.
they're an athlete, maybe they are an academic, maybe they're going out in the work world, maybe they have plans to do well for themselves. Send this to them because this right here happens very often, okay? So back in the year 2020, brothers Jacin Went and Amir Reap, both 21 years of age, they play for the Ohio State Buckeyes, okay? They have dreams and aspirations of, eventually department, okay? Now, for this alleged crime, they both faced 2 felony counts of the R word and kidnapping. These 2 young men were looking at 30 years in prison, okay? Columbus, Ohio police allege that these 2 young men forced a woman to falsely admit on video that she engaged in consensual sex after they assaulted her. Again, the Columbus, Ohio police allege that these 2 brothers right here forced a woman to falsely admit on video that she engaged in consensual sex after they assaulted her. Now,
you see that, right? Young brothers, but of course,
Ready to be an e-commerce.
them young brothers was also found
Jury
not
finding
guilty.
both
You know
of
what I'm
them
saying?
not guilty. They were accused
But
of
I don't know
rape and
when
kidnapping.
Well, tonight they're
young
sharing
players
the
will learn their
justice
lesson.
they say
with
they
these
waited
white
3
bitches
years
stuff.
for. 10 TV's Kevin Landers is live outside the Franklin County Courthouse tonight with their story. Kevin?
Well, good evening. Both men could have faced 3 decades in prison if convicted of kidnapping and rape. Tonight, they're talking about how a jury reinforced what they already knew, the truth.
Amir Reap and Jacin Went have maintained their innocence from the start, despite accusations from a woman who said both raped and kidnapped her in 2020. During their trial, cell phone video was played where the accused...
Well, I know Bakari, but you still get shout out. Like, you appreciate Johnny Cochran, you know what I'm saying? Even if you, I love to, piss them off, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, the glove didn't fit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The white bitch was into some white bitch shit, And we're going to address that later. And like I said, we're going to address that cancel thing later.
Accuser was heard saying the sex was consensual.
I don't think that mattered. I think what mattered was the testimony. They heard from his accuser, and they heard from Amir, and they heard from Jacin. And jurors are fantastic at discerning credibility, and they did that here.
3 years later, a jury found both men not guilty of the crimes.
It's a great feeling. It's kind of hard to put into words, but great would be a goal.
The fact that they embraced me after the fact, showing me how much they cared, and they had sympathy for me, and they understood that the predicament that I was in was a bad one.
The accuser, who asked her testimony not be filmed, testified Reap forced her to have...
At least he had a black woman judge, and she probably would have.
She also said Reap pinned her in place while Went forced oral sex on her. Went's attorney questioned why prosecutors took the case to trial.
And given her incredible inconsistencies with what she told the police, what she told OSU, what she told Judge Skeens, I couldn't even believe that they indicted this matter.
Both players say waiting 3 years to hear the words not guilty wasn't easy. And they say now that the case is over, they plan to continue their football careers and their education.
It's very overwhelming. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know where my life was going. And
now, I want to show you these young brothers here, man. I ain't even watched this yet, because I couldn't even bear to listen to it until I listened to it with y'all, Now, these 2 young brothers sitting here talking about, do they forgive this white bitch for lying on them and putting them through all that, getting them kicked off the team and all of that stuff? Do you forgive? We're not going to hold it against all white bitches, you know what I'm saying? Do you forgive?
Forgiving the victim? That's the hardest thing, one of the hardest things in life to do.
I look at it like this. There's a right and a wrong. I would never be okay with someone doing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's not against her personally, but it's a right and a wrong. She was wrong. So that's how I leave it at that.
I don't. I don't. Because if you could sit there and do that and then watch us about to go to jail for something that we didn't do, how can you sit there and let that happen? Because this could have been a whole complete 360. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God it worked out, but it's like, it wouldn't be like this if we was inside.
do you ever think about her and the situation? Do you still have an emotion about it?
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I think about it.
So here's what I'll say about
Well, at least they,
forgiving.
like I said, I didn't know before this dude. I didn't even, because I was just about to say I didn't watch it, and I'm glad he was like, no, hell no. And the other dude, he ain't say too much, but his answer was pretty much no. But at least they say no forgiveness. You know, we could at least we could say so. I don't know if they learned their lesson about messing with these, but they did say that. Yeah, they still haven't learned. Young black men have to be careful drinking and hanging with these white chicks on college campuses, because these young white bitches can get drunk and wild. They practice that Greek culture, you know.
Time. I mean, I think about it.
So here's what I'll say about forgiving. You don't have to forgive her, and forgiving her is not releasing her. Forgiving her will release you.
Yeah.
Because every time you think about it, every time you let it get.
By the way, that's like some dumb old like somebody trying not to get you to do something more. Like, look, man, I got a white girl, you know what I'm saying? Not all white bitches is bad, you know what I'm saying? Well, a few of them aren't like Carolyn Bryant's and stuff, you know. It's about you, brother. That way you can have white bitches with a conscience free.
You.
Yeah.
Because every time you think about it,
20 years ago they'd be sitting in prison, and like 50 years ago they'd be like hanging from a tree, you know what I'm saying?
every time you let it get another moment of your energy,
drag
it
behind
adds
the
to
car.
the 3 years that lie took from y'all. Every time you're thinking about what you went through, you're not thinking about where you are, because where you are is a positive. Because where you
What the hell is wrong with these football players, yo? A lot of them got like CTE or something. They've been thoroughly trained since they was like young kids to be like, I don't know. Maybe they took a lot of blows to that, but no, it's like different sports. They're all like, I don't know, man.
because where you are is a positive, because where you are is a blessing. And if you are telling the truth, that you feel grateful for the people you know that weren't there for you, if you are telling the truth that I spent 3 years getting to know my family and now it's time to get back to business, then what she thought she was taking from you, she didn't. So don't give her your good days, right?
Yeah.
You didn't even give her your bad days. You didn't give the lie. You didn't give the
What is he
pain. You
talking
didn't give
about?
the hurt. You didn't give that your shitty times. So why, when I'm up, I'm gonna let her have that, right? From the beginning, you maintained this is my truth, and y'all never wavered off of that. There's people, man, that will live their whole lives and never get an opportunity to know how solid their people can be. Y'all too? Him? You ain't ever got to question him your whole life. There are people who have had friends and family members since the time they were born. They were all they can remember, and they will never know what y'all two know.
Well, yeah, I don't want to question my homie. I question these white bitches out here. You know what I'm saying? You asking me, do I forgive this white bitch? I'm not mad at him. I'm not about to forgive him. Ain't nothing to forgive him about. It's about, what is he talking about? He played a lot of years in the NFL. I think he played in the Super Bowl before. I'm not sure.
About each other.
What's going on, Rob?
When you do get on your knees, pray for her. And pray for her every single night until you don't even think about her to pray for. Man, you want to be able to live, bro. Like,
please let this white bitch get what she deserves.
Don't even think about her to pray for.
The gods of the Orishas, you know what I'm saying? The black people gods, you know what I'm saying? Give her the justice that she deserves. Because he left out that part. Which one are you playing to, like a white dude or like a black person, you know, or a black deity?
Man, you want to be able to live, bro. Like, you trying to play. You trying to play. When you score and when the game is good and you got all those tackles, you shouldn't be thinking, yeah, F her now, I'm here. She shouldn't even be a thought. But if you hold on to that, You continue to give her those moments.
What are you talking about? You know how many moments all these athletes be giving them? But anyway, whole nother thing. All right. Have y'all heard about this in DC, like this what they call like the Bowser Pinto plan? Check it out. And I'm gonna let first, because I'm gonna let a white dude say it so you can believe it.
Also known as the Secure DC Act that just passed I'm sure you've heard of the Bowser Pinto Plan, also known as the Secure DC Act that just passed unanimously. And when I tell you that this is literal fascism, I'm not lying. We'll get into how this really just criminalizes poverty and blackness, but first let's get into some of the components of the bill that are extremely worrying. Firstly, face coverings are now criminalized. Let's say you're a woman wearing a hijab or someone that cares about COVID still and is just wearing a mask. You're suspected of committing a crime. Guess what? That's another offense. Do you have a friend you like to hang out with?
Like pretty much like hoodies and stuff that supposedly cover you up. You know, you see you got the hoodie thing right here. Bandanas and other things. Yeah.
Do you have a friend you like to hang out with? Well, guess what?
All right, so hanging out in groups of two, which is considered a gang, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the laws that they used to have, you know what I'm saying, where black people is with, you know, sometimes 3 or more, sometimes 2 or more is considered a gang. Or it ended up becoming the word gang, but you know what I'm saying, they used to call it something else, you know, back when they originated these kind of laws. But you know, it's like a posse or something like that. I don't know.
That's criminalized. Basically, the DC police can say that anywhere within a 2,000 diameter range is now a drug-free zone. And if they see 2 or more people or anyone doing anything that they see as suspicious, you can now be arrested. Let's say you're wearing a hoodie or you're calling an Uber. They could just say you're a drug lookout and arrest you. Black family having a picnic? Arrested. Now they can just kill people in car chases. They were going to do it before, but now it's legal. This one has nothing to do with public safety, but okay. Apparently they changed this one in the amendment. I don't know exactly what the amendment is, but they were saying that they could arrest someone if they cause someone fear based on their mask. And with the rampant Islamophobia, that one was fucked. Active duty officers do not need to tell you that they're officers, which is especially worrying because the new Show Your Papers Metro law means that any officer, even a plainclothes officer, can ask you for your name and address, and if you don't give it, you're arrested. Let's say you had a gun, you got chased, the cops are there. You put down your gun, that's also a crime now. Obviously, they meant this as some sort of like person like throwing away a gun in a trash can so they weren't caught, but the language does mean that if someone just puts down their gun, that is a crime. But remember I said this was just about criminalizing poverty and criminalizing blackness? Let's look at how. DC has the highest Gini coefficient in the United States. That means it has the most inequality. Look here. White households have 81 times the wealth of black households. Highest rate of poverty.
Now, I haven't been in the hood in DC before. I have been in the hood in like Baltimore, and like if you go down there minding your own business, like it ain't like people just gonna be like messing with you or nothing. But like, yo, even the hoods is more, the buildings is like more dilapidated, I would say, than the hoods here. And the hoods here is like pretty bad, you know what I'm saying? But there, then, you know, I can only imagine like DC, because I haven't been to that part of DC before. But, you know,
is 22% in DC for black residents. This one's especially fucked up. Black people's life expectancy is 16 years less than every other. They're just going to criminalize every consequence of that. And to make things worse, they're going to do this. Cut SNAP, cut domestic violence support, cut homeless prevention and eviction support, cut emergency rental assistance.
Now listen, right now for like mostly in black areas, they're going to cut like quote unquote the food stamps and all of that, or SNAP benefits, domestic violence support, you know what I'm saying, which is we don't have, but you know, which all the more reason to have your own. Homeless prevention and eviction support, in DC. You know what I'm saying? Listen to all these things that they're cutting, right? Emergency rental assistance, which is really like when people trying to get into like low income housing and stuff like that. Is most of the time is women with children and stuff. Transitional support from shelter to housing programs, and of course, like the diversity stuff, you know.
Transitional support from shelter to housing programs and cut U3 entry diversion programs? Every social safety net that the poor people in DC have is gonna be cut too. Fascism isn't on its way.
He's talking about some damn fascism and all this nonsense, but he called it Gestapo
broken families,
tactics.
mental illness,
I didn't know what that
poor
means. I
nutrition,
looked it up.
terrible schools, all kinds of things, people, all kinds of things. And this is all by this. They've always did for the black residents in DC. Okay, here's what they plan to do. It's called the Bowser-Pinto plan, and this Pinto person is a council member who is the chair of the Committee on the Judiciary and Public Safety Board. Her name is Brooke Pinto. This bozo, whatever. This is what they plan to do. So people, they're calling this the Bowser-Pinto plan, and this is what they think is going to improve safety. But when you listen to this, all it's doing is creating a lot of gray areas. It's creating a lot of opportunities for police officers to use officer discretion. And we know that gray areas, and when they say officer discretion, is usually manifested in racism, okay? Race soldier work. Now let's talk about it a little bit. They're criminalizing face coverings. This is what they said. Any items worn that cover most of the face are now criminalized, with detention or arrest as the penalty. This includes, but is not limited to, hoodies, bandanas, hijabs. The police will be the sole deciders on which face coverings are allowable. That's hijabs as well, people. So the Muslim sister, if you're wearing a hijab, okay, they want to get rid of that.
Black woman,
if you're out, it's cold. Somebody you might want to wear a scarf on your face. I don't know. You may be at the metro station, man, woman, whatever. The police can use their discretion and decide whether or not it's allowable. Depends on their feelings, okay? It doesn't stop. Gatherings of 2 or more people will now be criminalized. The police can now designate any neighborhood as high risk, allowing them to.
And that's literally, if you look up where this law like originated in this land, they probably had doing that somewhere in Europe too, probably. I don't know. But I know since we've been interacting with them, this is not a new thing, you know. They want to keep 2 or more from gathering. And most of the time, that's why they had even like the white people go to black churches and stuff like that, you know. So it's not even like a new thing. It's just, you know, I guess an updated version of it, you know what I'm saying? For us, quote unquote, citizens, since we're
arrest innocent people for gatherings in groups of 2 or more. If police suspect they might commit a crime, they can be fined or imprisoned. That's one of the second ones. Number 3, killing car chase suspects is now legal. Police can now kill suspects during car chases, a practice that is currently banned. The police will become the sole decision maker about life and death, regardless of guilt or innocence. Number 4, body camera restrictions removed. The plan will overturn current policy that prohibits the police from viewing their body camera footage before they write statements. This has nothing to do with lowering the crime rate, people, not at all. So basically, it's giving them the opportunity to lie, to create false stories and narratives, and to change things around. I mean, a crime. The moment that you drop the gun or put the bullets down, you've committed 2 additional crimes. So if you keep holding the gun, you'll get shot by the police. And if you drop the gun, you're now getting a longer sentence. Show your papers, Metro law.
I was about to say, like, they didn't say that you have your slave papers yet, but I guess they did. They ain't forget that part.
Police will now be able to immediately arrest anyone suspected of misconduct while riding the Metro who refuses to share their name and home address. For instance, if a plainclothes officer demanded your address on the Metro, not telling them now could lead to your arrest. Active duty status of officers is now secret. The public will no longer be able to know if an officer who was found to have engaged in misconduct is still active duty or not. Again, active duty status of officers is now a secret. The public will no longer be able to know if an officer who was found to have engaged in misconduct is still on active duty or not. Fear is now cause for arrest. Anyone wearing any item that covers most of the face who causes another person to feel afraid can now be arrested regardless of the person's actions. So basically, a white person says they scared, they can arrest you. So people, there you go.
So, you know, that's DC's thing that they passed. I guess these two individuals here passed it, you know what I'm saying? All right, so, you know, just speak on something else, right? Now, check this out, right? I thought this was kind of funny. I hate to play their videos, but I ain't feel like looking up the other videos, so I just took it from theirs. All right. But this was pretty funny because I seen this somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so... Because the sister always talk about it, but they start talking about how he don't remember now. You know how dude got dementia and all that, and he got pissed off.
Attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of... Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him, attending by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or passed away.
Something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning and I'm an elderly man and I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm the president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse, Mr. President?
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass.
I fell off a bike 3 times. A Haitian president got killed in his bed. The Arabs beat him up in that Iraq thing. Well, I don't know, because he left them all them weapons for a reason. He done did the whole thing with Ukraine and Israel and damn. I don't know. Let's go, Brandon. That's all I can say.
Any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, watch me. Many American people have been watching and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They expressed concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer to that question?
Because I'm the most qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Now these fools is literally having like brain things where they just can't stop speaking, and I don't know, you know how it goes. Now, check this out, right? This is no offense. I'm only playing this because this is not serious, you know what I'm saying? But I just disagree with what she was saying here.
Debit cards to migrant, about a $53 million program that the current mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, is launching to hand out prepaid debit cards to migrant families in New York. And he's quoting this New York Post article the Rupert Murdoch owned New York Post. Have to always throw that in, same people on Fox News, quoting this article about that program. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, in the comments on 50's post, there are lots of people going off saying, you know, why are we giving this money to migrants when we're not giving that money to Americans? Lots and lots and lots of pro-Trump argle-bargle, because of course, 50 ends his rant about it by saying maybe Trump is the answer. Really? Here's an important thing that you have to recognize, and this is a little...
Now, see, she's sitting there talking. Well, I wouldn't say any of them are. We know what the answer truly is, so I'm not even gonna go that way, you know. But she's trying to say, oh well, you know, this is a good thing, you know, and she's going at 50 Cent, which I showed that before, you know. But anyway,
a little bit more in the article. Not only will this provide families with the ability to purchase fresh food for their culturally relevant diets and the baby supplies of their choosing, but the pilot program is also expected to save New York City more than $600,000 per month, or more than $7.2 million annually. Why? Because New York City is already paying to feed these migrants who are in New York City shelters.
they're already paying to feed them. So the answer to that is by giving them all of the money up front, and it'll quote unquote save money, as she puts it. Like, but the thing is, like, I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? I want something to eat. I have to like use my money on this high ass food prices when I go to the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a damn about put them in the cage if you have to. That's not my issue. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no damn anti-racist, and I ain't talking about no damn people of color or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hungry, so I got to eat before I can feed anybody else.
They have a fiduciary duty to not let them starve to death. So they're already paying.
Oh, yeah,
Here's how much they're paying.
I have a duty to not let them starve to death, so we'll just let you starve to death instead.
Who are in New York City shelters. They have a fiduciary duty to not let them starve to death. So they're already paying. Here's how much they're paying. According to City Hall, the savings are comparatively based on the current $11 per meal that the city is currently spending. The Post reported that a family of four could be provided nearly $1,000 each month, which comes out to just $35 per day for food. But they'd be buying food that they want, not food that's provided in the shelter. Let me explain why that is important. Food waste. Food waste has been a major problem at migrant shelter cities.
So they wasting food. Yeah, he did. He said America is doomed not just because of African Americans, but because of the Spanish fools too. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying they're giving them all this food, but they're having a problem with them wasting the food because it's not like tacos or whatever the hell they eat. You know what I'm saying? And so now this is going to save us money so we can get them what they want to eat now and save money from them throwing away food, right? While we starve to death, you know.
With new arrivals coming from countries
Anthony?
around the globe wanting culturally familiar food. Yes, New York.
Yo, my brother Anthony, you missed the beginning. You gotta check out the beginning because I was talking about your boy OJ. You know what I'm saying? But the glove did not fit, so it's all good.
City is going to spend $53 million, which is a fraction of New York City's budget, in order to make sure that the people they're already paying to house and feed in New York City shelters are able to pick their own food and buy it, rather than waste the food that they're mass serving in these shelters that's being thrown in the trash. They're going to partner with a Black-owned business and allow people to buy food at local.
First of all, she said Black-owned, but we all understand when we look up. It's one of them Black-owned things. If you look up on the website Black-owned business and you show up in this, it's people of color businesses. You know what I'm saying? Not Black-owned food things. You know what I'm saying? Because how many of those do you know in New York? And there may be some. And so tell me the ones that is, because I'll shout them out. So how many of them are there for it to be Black own, where they're giving this money to supposedly feed them other ones. The glove did not fit, my brother. The glove did not fit. So they got to
and allow people to buy food at local bodegas, which is going to get those bodegas paid cash money. So they're saving money. They're doing what they already are doing anyway, spending less money on food, getting bodegas paid, and partnering with a Black-owned business. This is why you got to Google and do your little research before you believe, what anybody is saying. And Shelter City, with new arrivals coming.
All right, so you see, they get all of that, and so DC mayor here highlights the quote unquote Black and brown businesses that gives money to them to help them feed them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't give a damn. Like, yo, I'm hungry now. You know what I'm saying? I know when I go to the grocery store, the prices is crazy. And they taking hella money out of, like, you know what I'm saying? They force you to have, like, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. They're taking money out of your stuff when you, like, nah, like. You see, my brother Anthony got it right away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even say nothing about Johnny Cochran. He saluted Johnny Cochran. You see that, Bukhari? My brother Anthony already know what time it is. Just because you said that, I have to play this, Just because you said that, my brother.
O.J. Simpson in a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still O.J. Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Mm-hmm. Facts. But all right.
Brandon Johnson was here at BJ's Market and Bakery to highlight the program that was started months ago by the Greater Chicago Food Depository using money from the state and private donors. The program contracted with 17 small Chicago businesses, mostly Black and brown owned, to provide food to the migrants who are housed in temporary shelters in the city. The mayor also took the time to talk about yesterday's meeting he had with Governor Pritzker and Cook County President Tony Preckwinkle on the ongoing crisis facing government.
This mission, it's going to take all of us. And so there is a strong commitment still for the state, the county, and the city to continue to challenge the federal government to respond to this international crisis, while also making sure that the 28 shelters that I've stood up, the 5,500 children that I'm educating, the thousands of families that we are providing healthcare services for, and the thousands of families that are receiving healthcare by the county, and the thousands of families that are being resettled by the state of Illinois, that we continue our efforts to do just that.
The food depository program costs about 17
Now, you think all them homeless Black people in them cold ass cities with nowhere to go? You think they want some damn some patties, bro? Like, I know I want I can't, like, you know what I'm saying? I need to sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? Or at least give me you can give them whatever tax money that you want of yours and give them the food out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good on that.
The food depository program costs about $17.6 million. Again, that money coming from state funds and private donors. The contract with the state and the food depository ended last month. The city is now using state money and other funds to continue that program.
Now, we're giving the money to Black people to give to other people. You know what I'm saying? I guess they're going to try it that way. But if I was them, I would take it and start giving it out to, like, well, we're going to give it to Black people first, And I'm going to play this. I don't want to play this dude's video.
My name is Sister Monica Claire.
I just wanted to play I'm going to skip to the news parts. All right. Maybe I could skip it. I don't know. They got hella commercials anyway. I don't know how long it's gonna be on, so I ain't gonna be too much longer.
We're watching you. Democratic Party, we're watching you.
Yeah.
We are disappointed.
Right.
We are angry.
Yeah.
We are offended. And we feel like we're being mistreated misused, and disrespected. We will not continue to be disrespected by the Democratic Party. As I said yesterday, and I'll say today and tomorrow, if you're an independent candidate,
on New York, that's a current migrant crisis. All of this
dropped by BJ's.
Now, I ain't gonna just be like, yo, the Democratic, because you know you can't really escape to the Republican plantation either. It's all plantations, you know what I'm saying? And the only way you could solve it is we're not even gonna go there. Yeah, we should have been disappointed and been angry, you know what I'm saying, since forever, you know. And even when they be like Democrats is like a KKK thing, no, it's just an American thing. They all, you know what I'm saying, practice that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter which side they was on. Like, it didn't matter which group they belonged to. They could be a shyster, a French, a German, a Belgian. It don't matter. They're all like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They just argue. They're all white nationalists that argue how their quote unquote country should be. You know what I'm saying?
And brown businesses and feeding new arrivals. This morning, he dropped by BJ's Fresh Market and Bakery. He was there to shine a light on the
We've been disappointed, but we still got hope.
$17.6 million invested in small Black and Latino-owned businesses in Chicago by the Greater Chicago Food Depository in the state of Illinois as well. That money feeding more than 10,000 asylum seekers over the past 8 months.
The $17 million investment for these 18 Black and brown small businesses is really it really captures what I call the soul of Chicago. It's who we are.
Bye
bye for you. Somebody in the brown for you. This to say woman. Money for you. You working. No more money for you. Bye bye. Go back. No more money for you. It's lazy. You lazy.
Is that, are you lazy? You lazy as he goes in there to get his free dinner, you know what I'm saying? And this square build, they always look awkward once they get a certain age, like the Mexican, they got that awkward look, and she's sitting there laughing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, in the words of Cornel West, my sister Laura Ingram and my brother Sean Hannity. Listen, brother Sean Hannity.
You lazy! No more money for you!
I just feel that the village of Dalton, we don't have the resources for the migrants.
Yo, but is it against the law to feed the homeless? You know, it's against the law to feed the homeless. But like you said, America is doomed not just because of the African Americans, because of these, I'm gonna say spics, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all don't want to say that, but it is what it is.
Don't have locations.
These
We
West
don't have,
Arabs.
the public safety as reference to police to man type of individuals that may come in, not to stereotype anyone, but individuals that may come in and we can't.
Immigrant and Refugee Rights held its annual summit in Pilsen. Their community groups, activists, and labor unions joined together, calling for solidarity and support for migrants.
We are way overdue in creating a system of migration to this country that is rooted in compassion and in justice.
A number of elected officials pledged their own support for the coalition's policy platform, which includes calls for immigrant health care and more funding for community services.
What? More funding? Jeez. All right. Let me see if there's any. I guess that's it. All right.
Barack Obama.
Oh, and then so this is also in New York, right? Where a lot of students now listen, you know, well, we already see which students gonna get kicked out of their schools in replace of them. But you know, I mean, I guess if this isn't more motivation to support your own schools and to get the hell up out of their stuff anyway, you know, I don't know what to tell you. It's up to us black people and people of color and immigrants and the other group and white bitches and white liberals to change America. Yeah, I would say it's only up to one group. Well, I mean, I don't know what other group got the means to do that or wants to do that, but I know it's up to us to destroy it. Blanca J. But anyway, you know, a bunch of students in NY is forced to learn from home because their schools got took over.
9:12 right now in a news alert out of New York City. Students are being forced to learn online as nearly 2,000 migrants move into their school.
Nate Foy is live in Brooklyn with the latest, with what's going on. Nate, what can you tell us about this?
Well, good morning. I can tell you that a couple state assemblymen and concerned parents just spoke moments ago, and they are very upset that the students at this school, 3,600 students, are learning remotely today because of those nearly 2,000 migrants that moved in last night at the city's direction. Those migrants, because the way—
Now, I want to tell you something, because black people be like, they probably should, like, we like replace us as what, slaves, you know what I'm saying? As the bottom of, like, no, nobody's going to replace us as being it. Like, we should be like, well, I guess that's saying should, but you know what I'm saying? It would behoove us to be having our own school systems anyway, but instead of having these white bitches teaching you like nonsense that they teach you, you would go back to having your own anyway. So I low-key see that as a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I think the only way we're going to ever do anything is if we get so uncomfortable that we realize that we have to do something. I think right now we are so comfortable. It's like, can we go without the internet, without TV, without football, without basketball, you know what I'm saying, without going to a Super Bowl party, you know what I'm saying, for a little while? Because you can have all of those things. And I think it'll be quick because you ain't watching football if black people ain't in it. You ain't watching basketball if black people ain't in it. Which league would you watch? You know what I'm saying? But anyway. Oh, yeah, I already know my brother. I know. Because yeah, that's what good old Cornel West and them was gonna say, and a bunch of black people in general. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. We need white bitches in here. You know what I'm saying? We got to make an excuse for white bitches. That's first and foremost. They got to get invited. People of color, most certainly. You know what I'm saying?
Weather is a bit better today than it was last night, have since been moved back to their tent facility. That happened at 4:30 this morning, but the impact continues for the students today. They're learning remotely. All sports practices have been canceled, and we just heard from concerned parents saying that some teachers aren't even showing up.
But I'm saying, and the problem is, black people or us in general don't want the— all I can say is you can't take the root out of something and then still have that thing exist. If this thing was built off of something and you take that out, it's no longer that thing anymore. Like if you take the roots out of a tree, it's going to die. You know what I'm saying? And in order to end anti, you know what I'm saying, blackness, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hope they close all of these schools. Our kids aren't learning anything. It's not like when we were in school, they don't go on any learning trips. Yeah, that's true. You know, I'm not sure if they go on like the same field trips like they used to, but hell, we didn't learn anything. I barely knew anything until I started learning on my own. You know what I'm saying? I learned Christopher Columbus discovered America, you know what I'm saying? And Abraham Lincoln was the president one time, and George Washington and Thomas Jefferson was abolitionist. You know what I'm saying? That's what the white bitches taught me, and it was a lie because white bitches be lying.
But the impact continues for the students today. They're learning remotely. All sports practices have been canceled. And we just heard from concerned parents saying that some teachers aren't even showing up for the remote learning sessions. So they say that this really is not a situation that they're comfortable with. But take a look at this video as you see those 2,000 migrants arrive here last night. Again, it was because of bad weather threatening their nearby tent facility. The school notified parents of the students. The city writing, quote, "The health and safety of migrants in our care is always a top priority, which is why we are currently overseeing the relocation of 1,900 guests from the Humanitarian Emergency Response and Relief Center at Floyd Bennett Field. That relocation is forcing students to again learn at home, a proven disaster for learning, as we saw during COVID. Florida Governor and presidential hopeful Ron DeSantis spoke about this last night. Listen.
Maybe that'll help us stop getting a coon chip installed in us when we go to school.
The government is commandeering the school to house illegal aliens.
So the migrants now are back at Floyd Bennett Field, but many are wondering.
All right. And this is who we're donating our stuff to. Fools like
People
this.
have been asking me lately, is saying the N-word racist? In my opinion, it definitely isn't. It should be socially acceptable to say the N-word without seeing it being racist. Because let's think of it deeply. Why is it considered being racist to say the N-word? It's perfectly normal to say it to anyone, even if you're white, even if you're brown, even if you're yellow, even if you're black. Just say the N-word to them.
Right, no, oh yeah, just say speak to this fool here, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what he's talking about. All right, y'all, this is something else, okay? Check this out, right? So I'll play this, right? A white mom who adopted a black son. I just got stuff here, you know what I'm saying, just to take
On
up
a
the
black
time so
child
we
and
can
teach
get
the
off
child a
here
lesson, and she's
on the right
shocked
time.
at how violent they were with her black child.
I can't say it better myself, Erica. Those months are their top priority. Yeah. It take my kids once a month downtown Chicago to show them the Tartarian building. So we're learning together. Right. Yeah, definitely. That's a good thing.
Here he is. Here's the picture. Let me give you the background. A handful of vape pens in 2021. The civil action filed in Vermont Superior Court will be handled by the ACLU of Vermont, along with the New York City branch of Latham and Watkins, and using ketamine on anyone who may.
I was trying to find a thing, but I didn't have time because I was trying to hurry up, you know. And this was the only one I could find. Really.
Because of my family, what happened was wrong.
But I seen this before, like a couple of days ago. I didn't show it though, but the white mom called the son on the disabled black son, and that was a whole nother conversation because it's talking about you know, with the young black boys who have mental issues or it's hard to control, like, you know, just young black boys with mental issues, and then you sitting here calling the police on them, and then, you know what I'm saying, they ended up going to jail. And just like with that white bitch who was messing with that young brother and then took his game, and then, you know, he reacted, and now they trying to give him life even though he has issues, you know what I'm saying? And now you have this white adoptive mom, you know what I'm saying, sitting here calling the police on him because he wasn't doing nothing violent. It's just he was doing what she didn't, and she was like teaching him a quote unquote lesson. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing, right? Now, now this is something that I did want to show, you know. All right.
You with the Italian newspaper.
Now the Pope, right? He was like, because my brother mentioned it, the LB, that whole community, that whole thing, you know what I'm saying, the gay people, you know what I'm saying. Now, this Pope is saying that, like Africa is a special case because they're like, yo, we ain't signing up to this Greek culture stuff. This is Greek culture. This is y'all culture. You know what I'm saying? Like the popes and the all of y'all do that molesting priests and stuff. Y'all molest little boys. You know what I'm saying? That's not traditionally a black thing. You know what I'm saying? Molesting children and little boys. That's Greek culture. That's why they like white bitches that's like built like teenage boys. You know what I'm saying? They want like 95-pound little white girls that's built like a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Greek culture,
La Stampa, Pope Francis once again repeated his thoughts on fiducia supplica.
So you think the lady did it for a check? Yeah, she definitely did it for a check. And that's why it was a whole nother conversation, but that conversation get a little bit too deep, and because it goes to the mental health of young black children, and then being adopted, and then adopted by white bitches like that. And like they was just showing the other white quote unquote LBG, the gay dudes, you know what I'm saying, who had that little black baby and was combing that baby hair and putting them out there trying to get attention and stuff like that, and how they use black children. That's why I didn't even want to get too deep in it,
The Declaration on Blessings published on December the 18th. The pontiff explained how criticism of the document comes from small ideological groups, adding that Africans are a case apart, since for them, homosexuality is something ugly from the cultural point of view. They do not tolerate it, he said. The Pope also stressed that his hope is that gradually...
Now, the thing is, though, with religion, he's not supposed to tolerate it. His religion is never supposed to change, you know what I'm saying? That means he's not standing on whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now, the Pope, they the ones who, in 1453 or something like that, the first doctrine of discovery, the first time when they was talking about going kidnap black people, you know what I'm saying? Then you had the 1492 doctrine of discovery, all of them issued by the Pope, and he's changing his religion to now, but his doctrine that he stole doesn't say that he's supposed to do that, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's how you know that that's fake anyway.
Is something ugly from the cultural point of view. They do not tolerate it, he said. The Pope also stressed that his hope...
Well, the thing is, the Pope and all of them, they be worshiping a lot of those black statues and figurines and symbols, you know what I'm saying? They worship, who knows what they worship, you know what I'm saying? Because who knows what they are, you know what I'm saying? They're a whole nother breed, you know what I'm saying? They could be aliens, they could be, but they definitely are different. If they are quote unquote human, they're a different kind of human, you know what I'm saying? If you by their DNA, you know what I'm saying? Then if you can't just look at them and be like, oh yeah, you have no lips, you know what I'm saying? They literally have like monkey skin and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you shave a monkey, it'd be like their complexion, thin lips, they have problems reproducing, they can't go into the sun, you know what I'm saying? They practice Greek culture. Look at their culture. Their culture is just different, That's why the Pope is now accepting homosexuality. But technically, as a religion, you're not supposed to go against it, because it's not like God came and spoke to us today and was like, okay, yeah, I was wrong back then about homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? You could do what you want to do. I don't care. But his religion is not supposed to say that. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be stoning them to death or something like that. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
The Pope also stressed that his hope is that gradually everyone will be reassured about the spirit of the Declaration, which wants to include and not divide, because it calls for welcoming and then entrusting people to God. Thoughts the Pontiff had already shared last Friday, January the 26th, while meeting with the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith at the Vatican.
These blessings, outside of any liturgical context and form, do not demand moral perfection in order to be received. The second, that when a couple approaches spontaneously to ask for them, one does not bless the union, but simply the people who have required it together.
That way they can let little boys in there and not get in trouble for it anymore, I guess.
Not the union, but the people.
Non l'unione, ma le persone.
Yeah, but Bakari, you saying God has spoke to him in the last 15 years though? Because the Pope didn't even say God spoke to him. He just got pressure from the people. God didn't come change the scripture or what they call the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need updated scriptures. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not supposed to change the religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they also did change the religion, like going to like you are who your mother is when they came to America. You know what I'm saying? But they came to America and even went against their own rules when they was like, if you accept Christianity, they're not supposed to enslave you for life. And so they had to be like, well, black people can't be Christians and stuff. And then they came up with the rule about if you get baptized, it don't matter. You're still a Negro, so you're not human, and all that projection. But I don't know what language that is. It might be Roman, and it could be Roman. I'm not sure. I don't know their languages.
Non l'unione, ma le persone.
Along with almost the entire African continent, the Slovakian Bishops' Conference, the Hungarian Bishops'
He
Conference.
spoke to him before that speech. I don't know, man. It seemed like the LGBT community spoke to him and not, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the Catholic God is. What is the Catholic God? I don't know. Whoever the Catholic God. But I don't know.
Conference in the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church, and the Dutch bishops have also voiced criticism of the document.
Nah, because back in the day, right, they wouldn't have just took like him coming from the burning bush, like, oh yeah, God gave you this. Like where he had to bring the tablets, you know what I'm saying? He had to get proof, you know what I'm saying? So like where is the new scriptures at that accepts homosexuality now from the Pope, you know what I'm saying? That's
In
all I
fact,
want
the
to know.
Dutch Bishops' Conference stood in stark contrast to the Belgian Conference, which instead, back in 2022, had authorized blessings to any kind of couple. At the same time, opposition from...
See, I wish Matron was here. Maybe she knows. And she knows. She wouldn't. I would trust her if she say they have scriptures that updated. God came down this time through, you know what I'm saying, a whirlwind and said homosexuality is now cool.
blessings to any kind of couple. At the same time, opposition from individual prominent
have a child
cardinals
like
is
mine.
also growing. After Cardinal Gerhard Müller and Cardinal Robert Sarah, it's now the turn of Cardinal Joseph Zen, one of the 5 signatories of the recent dubia addressed to...
Damn, they falling apart. They got a black one and an Asian one. God tripping.
Pope Francis. On Monday morning, the Holy Father met again with Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, prefect of the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith. A new document on human dignity is expected, but also some further comments on fiducia supplicans, a topic that will surely be discussed next October with the second part of the Synod on synodality.
All right. Now this was kind of boring. I'm gonna try to play it. If it was too
Is it
boring, I'm
time
not gonna play it.
for America to see that the warnings about
Will we see a civil war in the U.S.? You know what I'm saying? Why this damn Pope is racist to think black people should accept Greek culture? Why he think we should be excluded and
civil
accepting
war
that?
are starting to look more real than ever before. One of the things that's going on in the church that's very similar to, it sounds like a civil war, is...
Yo, the thing is, right? I guess this as good as time as any. You know what I'm saying? Said God destroyed the whole city of gays, so it's not acceptable. I don't know. Listen, this God put us. That's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to get into anybody's God per se. You know what I'm saying? But according to the rules of it, though, you know what I'm saying? It is not accepted. So I don't understand why like black churches would do that. I mean, I don't have anything, but I'm just saying the religion itself and the stuff that they go by, you know what I'm saying? I got some updated scriptures, you know what I'm saying? I got different scriptures. I got some new scriptures. But the paragraphs in that book, you know what I'm saying, say that you can't go against it. So unless you have a new revelation, then the African people are right, you know what I'm saying? The people in Africa are right about that, you know what I'm saying? And not practicing Greek culture, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on with Pope Francis? The latest about fiducia supplicans, anyway, he's come out swinging. He said that his opponents on the issue of blessing of homosexual couples are from small ideological groups, and reminds me actually of something our prime minister here in Canada said during the COVID crisis. Trudeau called those who would be against vax mandates and everything also fringe ideological groups. And actually, Francis sounds exactly the same when he's talking about these small ideological groups. But if you list as
small ideological group like Black people, like Africa, like at least 40 some countries in Africa, I'm willing to guess. I'm just guessing. That's a small ideological group.
Andreas Welzer, our reporter at LifeSite, who covered this story. The number of cardinals, the number of holy and faithful priests that opposed fiducia supplicans, it was truly remarkable. But even beyond that, Francis gives a pass to the Africans. He says, you know, the Africans are a special case because of their culture.
Wait a minute. This will say give a pass to the Africans. Give a pass to them. What are you talking about? Give a pass to them. Yeah, because I don't practice Greek culture. That's them. They can practice all the Greek culture they want. I know that even though today they're considered in the minorities and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? What I do know is a lot of them they don't want to talk about the part how they was molesting a lot of men and boys, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them were straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, people like J. Edgar Hoover was a faggot, you know what I'm saying? And if you got a problem with me calling J. Edgar Hoover a faggot and not what the hell he did, or like all of them molesting little Black kids, you know what I'm saying? Boys and girls, you got a problem with what I say, then the problem is with you, you know what I'm saying? Because and you're anti-Blackness, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they are, you know? And he's saying, yeah, you're damn right, that's not our culture, you know what I'm saying? When Black people had deities, it was a Black man and a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what? We obviously see it takes a Black father and a mother in the home, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, you know what I'm saying, to create a new person, you need a mother and a father.
Their culture. Wait a minute. So you're saying that all those African bishops who opposed blessing of same-sex couples, they didn't do it because of the faith. The faith.
New Age Bible. I have my grandmother's Bible, but I'm gonna be honest. Like it's because she wrote in it and she like had things in it that means the most, that the fact that it was hers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I appreciate it the most.
Who opposed blessing of same-sex couples, they didn't do it because of the faith. The faith tells them not to bless homosexual couples.
Literally
No. Only because they're so culturally hemmed in, they can't even pay attention to the faith that surely would have said bless homosexual couples like Francis wants. This is insane. In fact, I think that's racist.
It is racist. How do you get more insulting than that? You're telling African bishops, African clergy, priests, nuns, African laity, many people, many of them still have family members who gave their lives for the faith. In their lifetime, they have martyred members of their own families. What you're saying is these people, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. Their culture, they're backwards. They're backward. Boy, I'll tell you what.
They're the backwards ones. Like it's racist. They're the backwards ones because they like, oh yeah, we're not with that Greek culture stuff. You know what I'm saying? And not all of us like Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? That's Greek culture. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what the hell they were sitting there doing in Europe before Black people like saw them? You know what I'm saying? They could have been doing anything, and they probably was doing everything.
I want to see in the kingdom of heaven, when we all get there, where those Africans land up, and where some of our clergy.
I'll tell you where they'll land. They'll have the Bible in their hands, but they won't have the land they was living on. That's where they're gonna be. They're gonna be in the parts of heaven near the dumpsters and stuff. But they'll have the Bible to talk about some Lord Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
who want these blessings lined up. Francis did also something else that's very perturbing. He started out, which he does. It's typical. He does this constantly. He started out saying that the blessing, this blessing, he was going to leave this up to sounded like the maturity of the clergy. The mature, brilliant, enlightened clergy were going to go along with the blessing, and those who couldn't yet, well, they'll die off. All of a sudden, no, that's taken off. No, everybody has to do this. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to do it. And I know a number of priests who have been in contact with me, they're not going to do it. This is not going to happen. I don't know. This is amazing. This is just amazing. It's what I was talking about before with the government, the idea of transformation. He wants to transform the church. You have to transform the church. Put the church in order. It's out of order. It's been out of order for years. Put it back in order. You don't have to transform it. It's fine. It's the mystical body of Christ. It'll get along somehow. But it's
the mystical body of Christ. He wouldn't have rejected you anyway. He would have rejected. He come for his people and his people only. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're supposed to be his slave. And by the way, Revelations 13:10. You know what I'm saying?
Both with our politics, with our American politics, especially, and Western. This is going on also in Europe, right? But also with the Catholic Church, and they're hand in hand. And I keep underscoring this to anybody. Don't forget that the enemy of culture, civilization, and sanity are people who attend the Latin Mass.
It's what is you? You're the enemy of that.
Buddy, don't forget that the enemy of culture, civilization, and sanity
is these fools
are
here.
People who attend the Latin Mass.
And this is one of the most dangerous species in the universe. That's who does that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, speaking of African brothers, you know what I'm saying? Kenya, or I don't know if y'all know about the Mau Mau rebellion, you know what I'm saying? Matron was reading about that the other day, but the people of Kenya is talking about their reparations from Britain. So
will Britain return the resources and precious items it looted from other nations? Britain has looted from many countries, and African nations were its favorite targets for looting. Not only that, Britain did the unthinkable torture of Africans as well.
I was beaten. My father was beaten. Everybody in the camp. I think those camps was just a torture station.
In a surprising move, Kenya has taken a stand after years. The Mau Mau movement in Kenya has demanded that Britain pay $2.2 trillion for the loot and exploitation they inflicted. This has left Britain feeling embarrassed and trying to hide its face. The big question now is, will Britain pay this massive amount? And why is Kenya asking for such a substantial sum? What is Britain hiding from all of us? Let's find out. And supporters.
I've always been.
All right, I think it's almost over, so I'm gonna be out of here soon.
To reclaim their autonomy and establish a sovereign, ambushes and other guerrilla tactics, utilizing the terrain to their advantage.
Mau Mau rebellion.
Meaning for the communities from which they were taken. The restitution efforts aim to repatriate these artifacts, allowing them to be rightfully reintegrated into the cultural and religious.
And y'all should definitely look up the Mau Mau rebellion and the Mau Mau oath and all of that.
Practices of the communities to which they belong. The Mau Mau freedom fighters actively support the restitution of cultural heritage in Kenya, aligning their cause with the broader initiative to reclaim stolen artifacts. Having experienced the harsh realities of colonial oppression, The Mau Mau movement recognizes the importance of preserving and honoring its cultural heritage. The support from the Mau Mau freedom fighters is particularly evident in their advocacy for the return of specific items, such as skulls, stone sculptures, ceremonial objects, and weapons.
They took people's skulls, you know what I'm saying, especially like the great warriors. But then, you know, that's European culture. I saw another part of like Greek culture, you know, they just do disgusting, sick stuff like that and take people's skulls and, you know, even pervert even the things that we was talking about. Even when we look at religion, like for real, like we looked at it at a practical level. How is it going to help us live life day to day the safest, best way? And now we know we need to incorporate, you know what I'm saying, that they exist into that religion and how to deal with them. And I guess start from scratch, you know what I'm saying? Come up with a new creation story, I guess.
These artifacts are not only seen as cultural treasures, but also hold spiritual significance in the rituals.
Yeah, Putin has just as much as our ancestors' artifacts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like in Russia, it's supposed to be a black quote unquote ally, and you see like what Russia had, but you can name anybody from every European group to the mixed groups like the Arabs or Mexicans, or you know what I'm saying, every mixed group that you can put out there, you know what I'm saying, all of them do the same thing, you know, and then they try to you know, rewrite history and claim things that aren't ours and then gaslight us on the real truth about it, but it's irrelevant what any of them say, you know.
And ceremonies of the Mau Mau community. Kenya's efforts to reclaim its cultural heritage through restitution align with broader global movements advocating for returning artifacts taken during colonial periods. Many countries once subjected to colonial...
Make sure, and if you listen, I don't know what you say about what you feel like I said about the religion, but yeah, and the Mau Mau thing too.
Colonial rule actively sought the repatriation of cultural treasures, asserting their rights to these items and emphasizing the importance of preserving their cultural identity. The global movement aims to challenge the historical injustice of cultural looting and foster a more equitable distribution of cultural heritage by returning stolen artifacts to their countries of origin. The restitution of cultural heritage plays a pivotal role in preserving Kenya's cultural identity. Reclaiming stolen artifacts represents a tangible effort to
and shouts out to Tanzan. I hope she all good.
To a sense of continuity and pride. The restitution effort. Colonization.
All right. All right. So but listen to this, you know, and again, like I said, I ain't put in the effort to try to find a video. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm not with these white liberal dudes either. But speaking of like in Africa, like what these, like how they can, because the other day I was talking about Haiti, how even through all that turmoil, that white dude could still go back and forth and molest the children and use the situations to, you know, be able to harm young children, you know. And this is another one, you know.
2-year-old young lady who was bought with a bride price in Africa by a 56-year-old white man in Texas who trapped her in his house as a slave.
Marvin Watson, he discovered me through Facebook. That's in 2012. This man in the United States who wants to sponsor people from Africa to go study in the United States.
So Marvin went to Botswana and met her family.
So while he was here in Botswana, my parents wouldn't let me go.
So Marvin wrote the U.S. Embassy in Botswana to convince her parents. But that wasn't good enough for her parents. So Marvin proposed that they get married, and so they did. But in their culture, you have to purchase the wife as a respectful offer.
Culturally, the bride price is meant just as an appreciation from the groom side to the bride side, like the way it's supposed to be here in Africa. The bride price is just meant for appreciation to the bride's price that now your daughter, we're gonna take your daughter from you and join our family, and that is just for appreciation. But now I don't know how they discovered that, but they are just ruining the whole meaning because now they're using it as purchasing.
And Marvin took it as he owned her, like property. So when he brought her over here, she wasn't allowed to go outside, make new friends.
He said the girl was only 15 when he first contacted her. Yeah, and he was like 40 or 50 something. Yep.
Meet the neighbors, or even go to college like he promised her she would. Marvin lived with 2 other people, his son and his sister.
This is Regina Watson.
Did you ever get to meet her or anything?
Yeah. She got plucked out of Africa by my brother, wanting someone to take care of him, and it didn't turn out that way.
Now pay attention to everything she says.
Did he live with her, with his children as well?
She lived with him in Austin with my nephew.
Not Charles or
Yeah, it was Charles.
Oh, okay, Charles and Regina, is it?
You're not putting my name in anything.
Now, I wasn't able to find a photo of Regina, but when I asked her if she lived there when Nelly lived there, she denied and said she had to move out immediately.
Did you live with her while she was there for a little bit of time?
For like 5 minutes.
But Nelly said that wasn't true and that she lived there for almost a year. So I called Regina back.
Hello? Yeah, hi, is Regina there?
What can I do for you?
What's with the hesitation, Regina?
Did live there for a year and you didn't move out?
Not for a year. Well, you mean when she moved in?
Yeah.
No, I was only there for a few months, only because my...
Okay, so you went from immediately to a few months. But that's not all, because Regina knew her brother kept it a secret, which means she kept it a secret too.
Really? So nobody, so he kind of kept
He
it,
never told anybody.
so he kind of kept it to the, as like a little secret.
Flags.
That's when I started seeing things like he just always had some excuse as to why she couldn't go somewhere, you know, or either she had to go with him or either she had to stay at the house. She was always made to stay at the house. And I didn't like that.
That's when Felicia fought for Nelly to be able to go out.
That's when I said, no. I'm telling him, you know, she needs...
All right. I don't want to keep playing that whole thing, but yeah, y'all understand, you know, the importance of protecting your children, because a part of that Greek culture and all of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, like one of the things that have always done was exploited and hurt our children, you know what I'm saying, in every way that you can think of, you know what I mean? So all right, I'm gonna go to this last thing, and before I do that, you know, I want to show this one more time, right? Because you remember this when it was talking about OJ, right? Now OJ, they was like a couple days ago, they said that brother had, or OJ Simpson, I'm sorry, you know, had cancer, and this was.
I just heard that OJ Simpson was diagnosed with not enough cancer.
Now, if I say that about her, you know what I'm saying, because I hope that she does get, you know what I'm saying, AIDS, and, you know, she be diagnosed with not enough AIDS, you know. But check this out, you know. Let me see. This sister here, she has a treatment, because I know a lot of people recently that actually like got diagnosed, like people that I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying, and even their family members like die of like cancer. And then I've seen like too many people on you know, just around me, like, you know what I'm saying, just within the last couple of months that is getting like cancer and like dying off, you know. And this sister here has come up with you know, a treatment behind cancer that is not as harmful as some of their treatments. Because I know a brother now who got to go through like chemotherapy and like had to get surgery just to see where it's coming from and all of that. So, let me play this.
Here I am at 22 years old, a 4.0 GPA as a physics major. And had a full scholarship to graduate school. And I said, why not use this Albert Einstein education to eradicate cancer? So for those of you guys who are not scientists, I'm taking really tiny, tiny particles that you can't see with the naked eye called nanoparticles. And I designed a new type of nanoparticle. And it's only activated with a certain wavelength of a laser. And so you can shine this laser on the nanoparticles that we inject directly in the tumor. And the laser causes the nanoparticles to get hot, so hot that they kill cancer cells. Here I am at...
Right, so, this young sister came up with a cure for that. But,
Black woman shattered barriers. Because of this lack of support, it has sparked a social media outcry. Okay, a social media outcry. Dr. Hadia Green, a trailblazing Black woman, shattered barriers in the medical field with her groundbreaking cancer treatment a few years ago. However, despite her remarkable achievement, she is encountering a troubling lack of support, igniting a wave of frustration on social media platforms. Since 2017, Dr. Green's revolutionary targeted laser treatment for cancer has achieved unprecedented success in laboratory testing with mice. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Since 2017, Dr. Green's revolutionary targeted laser treatment for cancer has achieved unprecedented success in laboratory testing with mice, boasting a remarkable 100% elimination rate in just 15 days. Really? All without any observed side effects. Really? It says her research represents a beacon of hope in the fight against cancer.
The matron in the building, and she said there are no new scriptures. I don't know what the Pope talking about then.
They're offering a potential game changer in medical science. Now, despite the immense potential of Dr. Green's discovery, she has struggled to secure the necessary funding and recognition to advance her research and bring her life-saving treatment to fruition. I'm buffering right here. Why on earth?
What up, Black Maggots?
Could that be? What on earth could be the problem? Why is she not getting the necessary funding?
This is the Super Bowl watch party.
Because some people have had funding for decades and they still have not made the breakthrough.
I'm almost done because it's probably almost over.
But they continue to get funding after funding after funding after funding and funding and funding and funding. Money, 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 money. Research, 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 research. No cure. Research funding, more money, more money, more money. Still no cure. But we have a woman here who is possibly offering a game-changing medical science breakthrough. As she's having problems, she's struggling to get necessary funding and recognition. Ain't that something?
I don't care if you make peanut butter or create the cure for cancer. You ain't gonna get no credit. Yeah. It's what would it be if black people? Yeah, that's the truth, But I don't know. Matron. Maybe God came down and delivered some new scriptures, you know what I'm saying? And the word of God has been changed, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But listen, if any of y'all want to come on, I don't know, because I'm about to get off of here. But if any of y'all want to come on here, then you can. But I have to play this again. Oh yeah, okay. Let me I'll do this one. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good, matron. I was about to say y'all must have just it's not profitable to cure any disease. The money is in the treatment. Yeah, to keep you coming back every week, you know. And that's why they, you know, made it illegal for like plants. But I call this black privilege, you know what I'm saying? And so I'll run this back again because it may piss y'all off, I guess, you know. But you're right, you know, it is black. It's all about black privilege. And y'all let me know if y'all want to come on here. So, you know, if you say you want to come on here, I'll put the link in there.
Let's be totally honest.
Probably gotta finish watching the game. Matron, if you want to come on, or I know Black Megas missed a lot of what I was showing. But yeah, black privilege, man. We'll finish with this. If it plays, of course. And the whole thing went black. Yeah.
One of the biggest problems in America right now is black privilege. For example, last month in Georgia, a black man shot and killed 4 elderly white people. The town it happened in hadn't seen a single homicide since 2018. And yet, despite all of this, no one really seems to care. The story barely got any national news coverage. But when the races were reversed and a similar incident happened in Florida, there was a national outcry. Or what about when 6 black men attacked and robbed over 100 Asian women in San Francisco? Can you even imagine what would happen if 6 white men did that? Now, amazingly, in San Francisco, 85% of the physical assault crimes involve an Asian victim and a black perpetrator. And that's incredible because black people make up less than 6% of the population there. And yet, for some reason, you'll never hear a Stop Asian Hate activist mention that. They'll blame white supremacy instead. There are literally hundreds of stories like this that you never hear about. Take, for example, James Lee Ramsey. Last year, he was convicted for assaulting an elderly Asian man, and despite the crime, he served less than a year in jail. So he was released from jail, and last month, he assaulted another elderly Asian person, this time an 88-year-old woman. But it's not just the elderly. An Asian high schooler was recently hospitalized after a black classmate stabbed him for fun. A few weeks ago, 6 black kids beat up a 15-year-old white kid for his shoes. Bystanders watched and recorded the whole thing. No one stepped in. This is terrible. Innocent people across America are being attacked, robbed, and even killed, and yet no one seems to really care because the people disproportionately causing it all have a certain skin color. And because everyone is afraid of being called racist, these incidents will just keep happening and nothing will change. The only way things will get better is if we start being honest about what's really going on.
All right, so yeah. That's what I was about to say. If this is black privilege, I'm like damn, we need more black privilege. Damn, black people out here whooping ass, I see, huh? I can dig it, you know what I'm saying? I can definitely dig the black privilege, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I take it back to OJ, you know, I'll just do this.
Said men shouldn't open up to women because they'll use it against them. He said whenever something go down, they're gonna throw it back in your face. This is black
privilege here.
Do y'all agree? OJ first.
OJ first. When you say open up to women, I don't know what he's talking about. Is he talking about confessing? No, man, don't confess.
Facts. Don't confess, man. But yeah, man. Shouts out to Johnny Cochran, man. That's his black privilege over here, y'all.
In a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still O.J. Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Facts. All right. So y'all, I'm about to get off of here, all right? But what I'm gonna do before I get off of here, I'm gonna show you what happens when you deny your black privilege, you know what I'm saying? And you be like, yo, I'm not black, you know what I'm saying? I'm not black, insert whatever the hell you are, you know what I'm saying? When you're trying to suck up to them. You know, they still gonna be them anyway, you know? So I'm gonna let this be the last words for y'all.
Simpson, in addition to the $25 administrative assessment and the $150 DNA fee, I'm going to sentence you as follows. Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime, 1 year in the county jail. Count 2, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 2 to run concurrent to count 1. Count 3, conspiracy to commit robbery, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 3 to run concurrent to count
What they doing there? They ain't have nothing to do with them. I ain't mean to cut it off. I'm sorry.
the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 3 to run concurrent to count 2. Count 4, burglary while in possession of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 26 months, a maximum term of 120 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 4 to run concurrent to count 3. Count 5, the first degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon, a fixed term of 15 years, parole eligibility beginning after 5 years with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll run concurrent to count 4. Count 6, first degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon, a fixed term of 15 years with parole eligibility beginning after 5 years with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll run concurrent to count 5. Robbery with use of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 60 months, a maximum term of 180 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections with a consecutive 12 to 72. And again, the enhancement because of the increased harm that the gun posed. Count 7 will run concurrent to count 6. Count 8, robbery with use of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 60 months, a max term of 180 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll be concurrent to count 7. The assault with a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 18 months, a max term of 72 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. That'll run consecutive to count 8. Count 10, minimum term of 18 months, a maximum term of 72 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 10 will run consecutive to count 9. Credit for time served is 64 days. That concludes today's sentencing.
She couldn't, she was like, oh, she felt vindication for white bitches everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, they gave that man 10 years for stealing his own football cards. They gave that man 10 years for stealing his own football cards. You know what I'm saying? And the white boys he ran up in there with snitched on him. And you know, they couldn't wait to he said he wasn't black. He said he was OJ, you know what I'm saying? And they couldn't wait to burn OJ. But we know what that was about. Why was their family even there? You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with this gangster white bitch, you know what I'm saying, who was into all kind of stuff. Yeah, Glenn Rogers, you know what I'm saying? Glenn Rogers confessed. I wouldn't doubt it, you know what I'm saying? But you know, they tried to burn that brother for that one, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? OJ is out right now, and no matter what they say, the gloves still did not fit, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I can say. So yeah, I appreciate that, Blanca. Yes, he was hurt. They gave that man 10 years for stealing his own football cards. Damn. And they called him the juice. But, you know, that's black privilege for you. But, or he gave up his black privilege, I should say. He said he wasn't black, he's OJ. So he gave up his black privilege. So shouts out to Blanca. Shouts out to my brother Black Megas. Appreciate you being in here. Glad everything working out, my brother. Shouts out to Raw. Shouts out to Matron, who was in the building. You know what I'm saying? Matron, you don't know. God may have came down and said something and changed the rules about that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to stone homosexuals no more, according to them. Maybe he changed it. So you don't know. But no, subscribe to Matron. She gonna be live tomorrow with her reading of Carlos Cooks. So subscribe to her. Bukari, he probably went back to watching the game. So you know, I don't know. I'll ask him who won later. And shouts out to Erica in the building. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to y'all give y'all shouts out to Erica. Shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. John Henry, who was in here. Y'all definitely give a shout out to Consider Cheek Realm in the Bush. We're gonna be back with a business thing. I'm not sure what the next topic gonna be. Maybe good black businesses versus black businesses. I'm not sure what we're gonna do next. I gotta talk to her, but y'all subscribe to Consider. She don't go live much anymore, but she is about that business. So y'all support Realm in the Bush. Yeah, the white owner wins no matter who. But as long as you shutting up and dribbling, you know what I'm saying? That's all that matters, you know what I'm saying? As long as we shut up and dribble, that's our privilege. That's black privilege. You know what I'm saying? We get to shut up and dribble. Thank you, Ra. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, and the thing is, would you watch the game if which league would you watch if the black players were like, man, I don't want to play for an owner who was down there spitting on little kids for trying to integrate the schools, even though, you know, they shouldn't have been integrating. But, you know, they'd be like, man, I can't believe Jerry Jones racist, but go Cowboys. That's black privilege. We can do that these days. But anyway, shouts out to all of y'all. I appreciate all of y'all. And like Khalid Muhammad said, you know what I'm saying? When N-words love N-words like we love the Bulls or the Chiefs or whoever that the Chiefs or the 49ers, then we wouldn't be N-words anymore. But until now, did the Bulls win today or did the Chiefs or whatever win today? But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something or we're going to keep falling for anything.